Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. There has been a really big increase of people joining, which is really cool. I'm so glad to see that you guys are watching my videos and enjoying them and subscribing to them. So thank you so much for that. One of the videos that really popped off was me comparing different CIBC credit cards. So I decided to do the same one with different TD credit cards. Right here I have 3 with me. I'm going to be going over 4. TD has more than that, but really I'm just going to be focusing on travel related cards. They have ones that are no fee or no interest. They have business credit cards as well, and then they have ones the dividend or the cashback ones as well. I won't be focusing on those. I'll be focusing on 4, mainly Aeroplan and a little bit of this first class travel. Obviously I blocked out, the numbers and my name and such. The first class travel is pretty blocked off. But thank you for joining me. And with that, we're gonna go ahead and get started. So I'm gonna first start off actually with the TD first class travel. And I'm gonna be going over just a high level look at the current promotions, kind of some pros and cons of it, whether or not you should get it, things like that. So if you are debating getting a TD credit card, this could be one of the options available. So TD FCT is what we'll call it. And I know I have kind of wonky writing. I wish I fixed it when I was younger, but those habits will stay as they are. So TD first class travel, I quite like this card because for me, when I look at travel, I look at plane and then I look at hotel. Those are essentially the 2 main buckets. And first class travel is really good because you can use it for one or the other. So a lot of times when we are doing plane travel, generally speaking, it's with Aeroplan. So you can really use all of these points for hotels, which is great. So the current promotion, number 1, first year free, we like that. Outside of the first year free, it is $120. So right off the bat, you get that for free. And then in terms of their current promotion for it, it is actually quite high. So it is 100,000 points, which is a pretty good amount. And the way that that's split up is 20,000 points on first purchase. And then within 90 days of the account opening, you need to spend $1,500. So altogether $1,500. You can split it up any which way, and then you'll get another 80,000 points upon spending. So with the first class travel, in terms of how can you apply for it and how you can get it, you can go into branch, you can do it online, you can call in as well, but you do need a minimum of a 60K income, and that's personal, or 100K household income. So that's how you can go about to get that. Let's see, what else do we have as well? So when you go to use it, the best way to use the points, there's 2 ways. The best way to use it is via Expedia for TD. So there you can book hotels, trips, even vacations, for example, or you can even just book something on the card and then have it refunded or reimbursed directly onto the card, but you're not getting as good of a rate when you compare it. So you can also just book directly. So that can be really helpful. For example, if you're a person who's traveling like myself, there are some people who, when they travel, they want to get the most luxurious travel for a good deal. For me, when I travel, I'm looking for a good travel experience, but for the lowest cost possible. So I will even take something like, I'll put museum tickets or train tickets on here, something that I have to pay in order to travel that might not be hotel or plane related. So this is actually a really great card. It can be useful for really anyone. It is obviously a Visa card, which is more or less widely accepted. First year free, always a great plus. You can use it for hotels and planes as well. So I do actually, I don't want to say recommend it, but it is actually quite a good card as well. So that is the first one. Again, this is a high level look at the different cards, comparing them if you're debating them. Maybe I'll go more in depth on a one versus another kind of card, or different types of videos as well. Kind of depends on what you guys are looking for. So that is the very first one. From there, the other three that I'm going to be going into are all Aeroplan related. So that is part of the reason why this one is so good for hotels, is because most of the other cards are Aeroplan related. So Aeroplan is great because you can get Aeroplan cards from TD, CIBC, American Express, and then you can pull all of your points together. And then with American Express, you can even transfer some of your points into Aeroplan as well. So you really have a lot of potential on getting tons of Aeroplan points fairly easily. I use that kind of with air quotes around it, but it is a great option. So with Aeroplan, they have 3 different tiers. They have the lowest, the mid, and the highest tier. Each of them have different bonuses associated with them, different costs associated with them in terms of the annual fee, as well as different perks like lounge access and stuff. So the one that I don't currently have with me is the Visa Platinum, and that is the low cost one. So this one has no annual fee. So AS stands for annual fee. So there's no annual fee on it whatsoever. And you do get 20,000 points. And that is the current bonus for it. So 20,000 points, and the way that that's split up is 10,000 points upon first purchase, and then another 10,000 upon 1K spending. And again, this is also in 90 days or 3 years for it. So this one is a great card, maybe in the case that your income isn't as high. So there is no minimum income here or household income. So maybe if you are younger, or if you don't have as many assets, maybe you're a student, this could be a great option for you. Minimum, I should say no income minimum. And also, let me fix my error. It's not that there's no annual fee. There is still an annual fee. It's first year free, and the annual fee is $89. Okay, so if you compare that to the mid-tier card, which we're going to be going over as well, the mid-tier card has quite a bit more advantages when you compare it to just the platinum card. So this one again is really good in the case that you don't qualify for the higher tiers. Sometimes you'll have situations where you apply for a higher tier card, they will not approve you for that one, they'll approve you for the one lower. So it could be maybe you apply for the mid-tier card, they don't approve you for it, you get this one instead. So you're still able to use that credit check to your advantage. So with this one, again, all points you earn are via Aeroplan. If you didn't know, when you compare these two, with the first class travel, let me take a step back and figure out what words I'm trying to say. As long as you place a purchase on the card, and then once it settles, which is usually 2 days, you'll have access to the points. If you compare it to any of the Aeroplan cards, you need to wait until the statement has been generated, and then the points will be transferred over to Aeroplan. So it could very well be that you are waiting a month to get your points. So do make sure, if you are looking to book something, this actually happened with a friend of mine, that you have enough cushion, because just because you've hit that minimum spend and you actually have the points do take about a month to be transferred over to Aeroplan. That's worst case scenario. It really depends on when your statement closes. So do take that into consideration. So that is the Visa Platinum. So that is the lower tier. So that's the card I don't actually have. Then this is the mid-tier one. So this is the Visa Infinite. So now we're going to be going over what are some of the benefits when we compare it with this one. This is the mid-tier card, probably one of the best ones, the best bang for your buck. So this one, you get first year free. Outside of that first year, it's $139. So they have, within the last year, kind of increased their price. A lot of them were $120, but now they're starting to go up to $139. In terms of how many points can you get, let me put this down. You can get 50,000 points, which is pretty good. And the way in which that 50,000 points is split up, let me find it here. So you have 10,000 on first purchase. You have 20,000 when you spend 1,500, 1.5K in 90 days. So right there, you're at 30, okay? What about the other 20? The other 20 you do have to spend an additional 7.5K within 1 year, so within 12 months to get the 20K. Now, depending as to what kind of a credit card person you are, some people are really aggressive churners, some people are kind of mid-range, some people are low range or don't even churn technically. This can be quite disadvantageous for you because it does mean you're taking $7,500 that you could be putting onto another new card, and instead you have to put it on this one card in order to get the additional 20K. Some people might get this card and be content with getting $30,000 for the $1,500. Other people would rather use up that full amount. So just know that those are kind of the options. If you do want to get the full 50K, it is $7,500. You do have 12 months. The benefit, I would say, is that when you compare it to other cards, a lot of cards will say that you will get, let's say, an additional 20,000 points, but you need to spend $500 every month or $1,000 every month. So they break it down into monthly increments. This one, I prefer the fact that it's just 7.5. One less thing to think about every month as to, okay, the statement came out, now I know I need to use this much money on the card or spend that much money on the card. So this is just something to take into consideration. It really depends on what your personal expenditures are like, how much you spend, right? If you spend $1,000 a week, that would probably be pretty easy. If you spend $1,000 a month, this one might not be as beneficial for you. So it really depends on you and your goals, but you do have that one as an option. So this one does tend to have additional benefits when you compare it to the platinum one as well. So you do get additional points in the case that you are buying anything Air Canada related, or if you're buying anything on gas, groceries as well, you do get 1.5 points for every dollar spent instead of just 1 point for every dollar spent. Okay, so that one, you also get, let me take a step back. A lot of them have been coming up with Nexus rebates. I don't have my Nexus yet. I've been planning to do it for years, and then Corona hit, so something else to take into consideration. So that is the middle tier, which is the Visa Infinite. And then we have the highest tier, which is that nice clangy metal one, which is the VIP, or the Visa Infinite Privilege. So this one obviously comes with much higher annual fees. This one's more advantageous in the case that you are a frequent traveler, because you do get lounge passes, the Maple Leaf Lounge. You also get free checked bags. You're also more likely to get upgraded. There we are, more likely to get upgraded. Apologies if I cut out the writing. That's at least what they say. So you have those quick off the top benefits. What is the annual fee? Well, it's not cheap. It's $5.99. So you're spending $600 for it. You can lower this by having a TD all-inclusive checking account, which will take off about $140 from that price, which is quite good. And then in order to get the full points, it is 105,000 Aeroplan points. And the way that you'll do it is 20,000 points for your first purchase. And then from there, just like I was mentioning before, this one does have it split up on a monthly basis. You'll get the other 85,000 points when you spend $1,000 monthly. So this one, you do need the monthly breakdown for it. So obviously quite, it can be a disadvantage depending on you and your needs that you have. They also currently have a promotion as well. You do get Nexus, which you do with the middle one as well. So with that, those two are both equal. But you do also get, if this is a benefit to you, it's not so much for me, you do actually have an Uber Pass membership. I think this is for Uber Eats. I've truly almost never used it, because I look at the prices and I'm like, this meal is $20 and I have to spend $55 for it to come late and cold. I don't get the point of it. Anyways, that's me personally, but this will help to decrease that cost. I'm not really sure what the points are in correlation with it, but if that helps you out, that's a perk. We won't say no to it. And then when you look at how many points you'll be getting, you do get more points. So here we were saying 1.5 times the points. Here you get 2 times the points for Air Canada. And then you get 1.5 times the points when you look at gas, groceries, but then also travel and dining. And these two in the last card, in the Infinite card, these two weren't included. These ones you had 1 times the point. With the Visa Infinite, here you have 1.5 times the points. It's still the same 1.5 gas and groceries when you compare these two. And then with the Visa Infinite, it was 1.5 for anything Air Canada related. Here it's 2 times for anything Air Canada related. So we have gone over 4 different cards, all with different pros and cons, primarily Aeroplan related. If I was to choose which card, if you could only apply for one card, personally, I would do the first class travel, which I think a lot of people might be surprised about. I think it's really easy to get the full bonus of it's really easy to get the full bonus of 100,000 points. There we are. And then you can use it for hotels or for flights, and it's not broken up too aggressively where you're using it every month or so. You can do it right off the bat. So I'd actually probably say the first class travel. And then from there, let's see, we have the privilege, which is quite expensive. So that one's really specific if you are going to use it. A lot more advantageous if you are a super frequent traveler, because then you can take advantage of their checked bags, their priority, the priority boarding, the priority luggage. You get the lounge access as well. So if you travel once a month, this might be a lot better than another card. But for the middle one, I would probably go with, so I would start off with this one. This would be my first. And then this one would be my second. And then third or fourth, I think that really depends on yourself as an individual. It's hard to justify a $600 monthly annual fee. I'm sure it's worth it, especially if you are a churner, you're able to see the benefit of those prices. But in the end, you can kind of pick your poison, whichever one it may be. So that is a quick rundown of comparing TD travel credit cards. I hope you liked this video. If you're still here, please comment, like, and subscribe. I'm actually going on vacation in 2 days, so I'm going to be doing some videos in regards to how I got pretty much a 10-day trip to France for very, very little. It probably would have cost me about $3,000 out of pocket. I paid significantly less than that, so I'm going to go over the points that I used, how I planned it, and then after I finish the trip, probably what I would have done differently. So that's very soon, which is exciting. And then I'll also be doing a video in terms of when you travel, what cards you should take with you to ensure that you have all of your bases covered. So I hope to see you guys again sometime soon. Thank you for joining me. And yeah, happy churning, happy credit card openings. Bye for now.